Mishpaka, everybody out there. I don't plan to be on here really long, but I was given a vision I want to share with everybody, and just a little insight, something that y'all can challenge y'all minds to think of. And I saw this vision. I was just doing what I was normally doing today. I wasn't even planning to come on here, but the Most High was like, "Hey, get on there and go live." And I saw a vision before I even did it. So I'm here now, and I saw in this vision the word enforcement. It flashed in the front of my eyes like enforcement, enforcement, and then it changed before my eyesight, and it changed into enforcement, enforcement, which has everything to do with the dalat, with the heart, the door, the lab or the lab, and that right there, I just want to share some scriptures because I don't want to be opinionated by what I saw, but I believe I understand what it is that the Most High was showing me, because I was doing a study before about the mark, because everyone's wondering what this mark could possibly be. Some knows what it is according to the scriptures, if we stick to what that says the Most High and what Ruak shows us too, in between all of these things that are said. So I want to read really quick Deuteronomy Dabarim, which is originally called Dabarim, chapter 11, verses 18 through 23. I'm going to read that. It says, "Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes." Which people can think that. And you shall teach them your children, your Yaladim, speaking of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by your way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall write them upon your doorposts of your house, our hearts now, and upon your gates, the heart, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children, your Yaladim, in the land which Adonai swear unto your fathers to give them, as days of heaven upon the earth. For if you diligently keep all these commandments, which is the order of Yahuah, which I command you to do them, to ahab, to love, originally is called ahab, Adonai, your Aluah, to walk in all his ways and cleave unto him, then will Adonai drive out all the nations from before you, and you shall possess greater nations mightier than yourselves. I said I was only going to read, yeah, that was it. And it just all hit me, you know what I'm saying? It hit me so hard because I was thinking about the mark of the beast when I was reading this. And y'all probably like, Yahuah, how did you think about the mark of the beast? You know what I'm saying? Well, right here, and where is it at? It says in verse 18, "And bind them for a sign upon your hand." But when you go over to Revelation, what is it? Revelation 13. Let me go there really quick. Bear with me, y'all, because this is good. This is really good. Revelation 13. I'm just going to read all the way from verse 4 all the way to 18. I'm going to take that time to do so. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast unto this beast, who is able to make war with him?" Who was able to go to war with this beast? "And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemy against Yahuah, against Aluah, which is Yahuah, who to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, which is believers, which is the righteous, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And you think about Melech Nebuchadnezzar, and how he was made a physical king over the entire earth, and pretty much was introducing this stuff. If you go into the book of Daniel, you'll see that this was being ushered years before. Right now, it's just coming back again, even stronger and more powerful. But the Most High is still in control. And it said, it was given unto him to make war with the saints and overcome them. And power was given over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all them that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. And y'all can see who that Lamb is. If any man, or if any have an ear, let him hear. He that leads into captivity, go into captivity. He that kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. He exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and he caused the earth and them which dwell therein worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Whose deadly wound was healed, right? And he does great wonders, so that he makes fire come down from the heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, the image of it, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small, great, rich, and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no might buy or sell, save that he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number in his name. Remember, when I first started this, I was reading to y'all Deuteronomy, Dabrayim, which is originally Dabrayim, chapter 12, I believe, or chapter 11, I think. Yeah, chapter 11, and verses 18 through 24, I believe. And this is the part that I was getting to, why I saw the enforcement. Remember when I told y'all about the visions? Keep all of these things in mind that I'm telling y'all, and it's going to make sense. Here is wisdom. Here is kakam. Here is kukhma. Some people call it kukhma too, but it's kakam. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number 666. Okay? When I saw this vision hit me so strong. It hit me so deep, because I was seeing a lot of the military, a lot of people who had power in this world began to enforce, E-N and the I-N, enforce. Because in order for something to be pressed into you, it has to be pressed upon you first. You know? So all of you who are going hard, all of you who are really, this is all about faith. This is all about your belief. It has nothing to do with our strength. The battle was not given unto those who are swift, those who are strong. It has nothing to do with physical human strength that we're going to be able to get to this. It's so many stories that y'all know, but I specifically speak to those who are chosen too, just as well as those who do not know the Most High, that this is the chance to receive this through the Son of the Most High, Yahusha HaMashiach, who is the door to Yahuah, to eternal life, to everything, and also the Son, and also is one with Aluah, which is one with Yahuah, you know. And I encourage y'all, because I was given this number in the Hebrew, which I spoke about it just then in the verse 18. No, not verse 18, but what was this? chapter 13, Revelation, verse 18. Here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number 666. A lot of people in these revelations and things that's being given has not been able to understand these things. It was not given to everybody to get them. But it has everything to do with your worship. When you go back to Deuteronomy, what I just read earlier, then you'll realize that it was talking about the affection that we give unto the Most High, which only can come from within, which only can come from a place of Ruak, which later on was given by a lot of the Nabi'im, which are the prophets, which are mistranslated the prophets, or the servants, which are the Abad, and not just servants, but now we are brought in to become sons, because the Most High wants us inside of this temple now. He wants us to be one, akkad, with the Most High, right? So this has everything to do with your belief as a believer. If you believe, now how you show even more into your belief to be believing, which you have aman, and then you have amanah, which is the belief, which is mistranslated faith, right? And by that amanah, that belief that you have, right? When you have amanah, now you are a believer. You walk out in these things. You do these things every day. You make sure to keep these things in mind. Even when you mess up, you get back up, and the first thing that you remember is the commandments that are now within you. A lot of people are slipping, acting like Pharisees and Sadducees and Gentiles, right? Acting just like the nations, even some of those who claim the names of the Most High. And I have to say it because that's what flows through Ruak, is because we have to be able to tell the counterfeits, the wicked counterfeits, because we were considered the mistranslated counterfeit. But what Mashiach was really talking about in Shaul was talking about in 2 Corinthians, which is mistranslated Corinthians chapter 3. And all the way down to the bottom, you will read there where it spoke about the veil. It says this veil was over the hearts of the people. It was always talking about the condition of our lab. It was always talking about the condition of the door, of the dalat, right? So if our heart is not right with the people, because in order to be considered Yasharal, Yasharal was not just something you called yourself. Yasharal was something you acted out as. It wasn't an act or a show, but it was something you lived out as a lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? Yahudah was something you lived. You didn't just call yourself Yahudah. Zebulun was something that you lived. You didn't just call yourself Zebulun. You didn't just call yourself from the tribe of God and tribe of Ashar. The tribe of Simeon, the tribe of Leowi. We didn't just call ourselves these things, right? These things were things that you had to do, that said that the Most High have considered you. When the Most High looked upon you, the Most High said, you are Yasharal, because you have power with me and you have power with man. It was always something about something that someone did that caused for them to have this type of favor with the Most High. Which, for us to be chosen, it was the Most High who chose us. Then we have to make a choice. You see what I'm saying? And so when I speak these things, I speak them very compassionate, because we can't be deceived by these wicked things. We have to get into the intent of what this word means instead of just what it said, right? Because if you only did what Abba said because Abba said it, it's not really guaranteed when Abba looks into your life that that's really because you really desired to do it versus you just hearing that you should do it, right? You could do it and obey an instruction and still be evil, right? Think about Yahudah Ishkara, right? A lot of people talk about the mistranslated Judas Iscariot, right? And he walked with the Mashiach. Mashiach even gave him power, right? The Most High even gave Mashiach that power to give them power to be able to cast out demons and things like that, to lay hands on the sick, to proclaim the word of the Most High, the words that the Son of the Most High was speaking unto the people. And he was considered one of the 12, right? He was the front gate. Sometimes you're going to have people on your own team out to snuff you. You see what I'm saying? And if we not careful, if our intent is not right, we could fall just like Yahudah Ishkara did. But it was still for fulfillment because it was spoken even before he knew what he would do. It says that the shepherd will be smitten and the sheep will flee, right? It has everything to do with everything that we ever did. So we have to make sure that, our intention is right. When I saw this vision, I'm going to finish it up and I'm not going to make this long-winded, right? I just have to say this. I had to get this out through Ruak because I have to be obedient, right? So when I saw these things and I saw the people, things being enforced upon them. People were going through so much because they weren't able to buy, sell, or trade, right? If you don't have Ruach in your heart the other way around, as far as with the righteous, then we can't understand the things that the Most High was really saying. We would have a spiritual drought. Some people are in a spiritual drought right now because they're looking for more. They're getting all these good things from the scripture and they think they understand these things, which the Most High said, you search the scriptures for in it that you think that you have eternal life. You know what I'm saying? And in order for us to truly get the salvation of these words, the fullness of them, the wholeness of it, the Kadash, the Ruach HaKadash, which makes us whole and restored, is by walking them out. So nations of people, things was being enforced upon them, and they were going through so much turmoil and craziness in this places right now. Specifically, even with this COVID-19, with the vaccination and things that's going out, and confusion is going all around. See, if we stay in our world, we will understand that this is Babylon. This is Babylon, right? And Babylon, Babel was always about confusion. Babel was always about confusion. Confusion was its name. Confusion, it was always one thing being heard from one side from the east to the west to the north to the south of Babylon. You see what I'm saying? Just like now, the word, and we are separated, and we were spreaded across the four corners of the earth. See, the enemy always enchants everything that the righteous does. Everything that the righteous does, the enemy mimics it, right? So I want to drop this revelation upon you all. The mark, there was a mark that the Most High had, right? Gave to us, which is the commandments, which is the Ruach now, which is the new mark, which is the restored mark. If you have that mark within you, then the Most High will look upon you and recognize you, which it says that those that didn't have the names in the Lamb's Book of Life, then these ones will be destroyed and overtaken by confusion, by Shaitan. Shaitan is already in shame. Shame would overtake these ones. And when we think about everything that Mashiach, everything that Yahuah was telling us, and to Yasharal, was giving the commandments and saying, teach them to your children every day. Keep them in the gates. Keep them in your gates. Keep them upon your gates, and keep them in your house, which is to keep the word inside of you, which is to keep this word inside of us now. And if we keep this word in us and we look to do it every day, we will stay dedicated. The Most High will dedicate us and do a thing that we cannot do. Will give us strength that we didn't have physically to give ourselves. As in Adam, all die. As in Yahusha HaMashiach, all shall live. As in Ruak that the Mashiach has given us now, we will live. Even if our bodies have to suffer through this thing. I have true faith that the Most High will give us that strength and will give us the boldness to be able to say, absolutely not, I won't do it. It's not promising how we will really react to a thing, but we have to pray. We have to make sure that we are not prideful. You see what I'm saying? If you think about Azar, which his name was Azar, which meant help. Or people say Azar Yahuah, which means Yahuah is my help, right? Or Ali, when you think about Ali Yahuah and you think about these other names, these are names that give praise unto the Most High. So the enemy is trying to create a false Ruach, is what I'm really getting to in Ruach. Shaitan is trying to create a false Ruach. And he wants believers. He wants to recruit people. He wants people to be on its team so it could become their Mashiach. And they can have its wicked mark and its false mark. And the way to do that is by persuading people, oh, if you get this life, it's going to be so much better. You're going to have so much peace. You're going to have so much ahab, so much love, you know. You're going to have so much joy in your life. You're going to have so much happiness, I should say. So much samach, I should say, in your life. So much ahaba. But that is a liar. The Shaitan is a liar. He's the father of all lies. You know? So anyone that could ever lie. I told lies in my life before I came into this belief. Before the Most High brought me to this belief, you know? Before the Most High chose me out of my wickedness in the days of my youth. You know? So now here I am, hoping that one that will listen, hoping that one that ever catches this video, for anybody that catches it, remember, you know, to keep these words inside of the heart. There were always enchantments. Think about the children of Yasharal when you had Masha and Aara, which is mistranslated Aaron. A lot of people say Aaron, but it's Aara, which he was the one that Masha was the one that draws. He was the one that gathers. When you gather the first fruits together, or when you gather the sheep, you know, Ara, and you got the he was a great gatherer. He was just as a great leader too as Masha was, and he was just as important, and it was a brother to him, you know. And remember what was said unto Yasharal. Remember what Pharaoh had did. Remember what Pharaoh had did. You know what I'm saying? Pharaoh had mimicked, through demonic powers, mimicked the same things that Yahuah had did through Masha and Aara. You know? They had Amanah to do these things too, and the Most High gave them power. Just as the Most High will give us as believers power, and these last and evil days, which for us is becoming to be beautiful, more beautiful, because we have already received that the Son has already came within us, has already been inside of us, has already came through Ruak inside of us to be and live in us and make this house a house of righteousness, a house of shalom for so many that are looking for that, who the Most High will have compassion on. You know? So I want to give that. Think on these things. Shaitan is making a false ruach. He needs to recruit people, just as the 70 who were appointed with the 12. They need more recruiters. They need more people giving up. He needs Shaitan, which is not just a he, but it's a head of a system. It's trying to make itself a head of a system to cause them to turn away from Yahuah. You know? And we have to be strong in Ruak. The only way we could be strong is through the strength, through the Kazakh of Ruach HaKadash. You know? That's the only way. That's the only way. I'm striving every day too, but I can't strive alone. I have to submit. We have the problem is that a lot of us, we get to know some of this word, right? And then because we know some of this word, we forget to give our all back to the Most High. We forget that the Most High is our everything and our life source. And we start to walk these things out pridefully. Remember what was spoken to Azar. Yahuah spoke to Azar. Azar pleaded on our behalves, right? Pleaded on our behalves. Even if he was an ancestor, he still was pleading for us. Mashiach was pleading for us too. In the flesh, Mashiach would be considered an ancestor as well. But now Mashiach is still here helping us out as our head through Ruach now in us. And be careful, beloved. As Yahukanan said, believe not every spirit, but try that Ruach by that Ruach. If the Ruach that is in you, try these things that are being said. You have the Shishma, you have the Shishma'ah, you have the Shishim, and you have the Shesh. You have the hands, the worship. When we lift our hands, right? This in ancient Hebrew is the you see what I'm saying? I got my hands up. When you think about the letter H in Hebrew, when they say hands up, don't shoot, right? Hands up, don't shoot. We're surrendering. We're beholding our breath to something that has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with what we raise our hands to, what we lift our hands to, what we give esteem to. And then you have the ooh, right? Everything that we give up our inward parts to, all of these things will begin to deceive us if we give up ourselves and we don't even listen. Remember what Yahuah said about saying aman to things, saying so be it, and yes, and khan to things that you don't even understand. If I don't get it, I'm not saying khan to everything, and I'm not saying aman to everything, right? Because I don't agree with everything out here if it's not lining up with Ruak. Some people say, oh, that ain't what I read. But Ruak has a different, it has a lifestyle, which it does line up with what is written. Don't get me wrong. But it's some things that's not right here word for word. That Ruak, when you really have Ruak, you really get what Mashiach was saying through these things, especially when he was talking to the Lamad, when he was talking to a lot of his mishpaka, because he considered them mishpaka because they walked with him. And if we continue to walk with Yahuah, he will look upon us and look in the doorposts of our hearts and see the Ruach, the oil, or the blood, which is the blood of Mashiach in our hearts. You see what I'm saying? Which now is that oil, that Ruach, you know what I'm saying, flowing, and then he'll be able to know and call us by name. He'd be like, oh, I know them. No, I'm with them. Even if Yahuah allows for some of us to be touched by the sword, Yahuah is still going to remember you. Because you will have the Most High in your foreheads, right? You will have the Most High in your mind, in the mind of your heart. Not literally in this mind, but in this mind. Minding the things of Ruach. Ruach has a mind. Mind of Mashiach. Mashiach has a mind. Mind of Yahuah. All of us are in equity. No Trinity stuff that they're separate entities. But equal. Equality. Akkad. I love y'all. Ahaba Atamish Paka. Yahuah Barak. Ani Palal Yahuah. Ani Palal Yahuah. That you will barak my family. That you will help these people. You will help them to understand your word. That you will let the Ruach, even from the sound of my voice, touch them. Even an unbeliever today. Even someone that doesn't know you today. That if you see fit, that you allow your Ruach to just burn within inside of them. Burn our impurities out inside of them. Send your Seraphim to burn impurities, to make them Kadash, to touch them like you did Yasharal. Hallelujah. Halal Yahuah. Toda Yahusha HaMashiach. Barakatah Yahuah. Barakatah Yahusha. Habasham Yahusha. Bahasham Yahusha. So be it. Aman.